Anyone remembers when Samsung was being mocked ruthlessly for its gigantic screens? Fast forward a decade and compact phones are a rarity now. To understand what just happened with the Galaxy S24 series, we need to examine the 2010s. From 2011 to 2022, the smartphone era can be divided into 4 phases. Phase 1. Everyone is making devices trying to pack as many functionalities and features as possible. This is the phase when smartphones were coming with headphone jacks, SD cards, and freaking IR blasters. Not only that, phones themselves weren't glass sandwiches. You could actually open the casing, replace the battery, SIM card, and SD card. Third parties made battery packs for phones. Needless to say, they were a lot simpler. But Samsung was always a step ahead of the competition in terms of features varying from actually useful to gimmicks. I'm looking at you, Air Gesture and Smart Scroll. Phase 2. To me, it was the most consumer-friendly era. Smartphone competitors and their devices at this point were pretty established. So, to stand out, you had to offer better value, more features, and a good UI. A standard portfolio of features was identified, streamlining core traits across all smartphones. A minimum of 720p screen, 2 to 4 gigs RAM, at least 32 gigs of storage, and water resistant by making glass sandwiches. At this point, we were getting bold designs ranging from astounding to ergonomic nightmare. But smartphones were about usability just as much they were about making a statement. Phase 3 is the phase I like to call the beginning of emissions. Headphone jack, SD card slot, and charger bricks are the most prominent ones. In addition, everyone wanted to get rid of the bezels, and we got moving cameras, under the screen cameras, and notches, and minimal bezels. Phase 4. Everyone started focusing on the cameras, and while the progress was made before, it wasn't that substantial or drastic. So, same design, same screen, just some hardware changes and camera improvements. I know that was a lot, but it was necessary to set the stage. We're now in phase 5, the age of AI and software improvements with incremental hardware upgrades. Why AI? Well, since the large language models exploded in popularity with ChatGPT, it kind of makes sense to go that route. But also, we have standardized features, design, screen, and specifications. In terms of development, we're facing some issues going down the nanometer chain. 3 nanometer, 2 nanometer, and as we go down, physics becomes a real problem. So, the first major smartphone of 2024, and design-wise, there's nothing new here. This year marks the 3rd year with the same design, and as much as I love it, I low-key wish they had done something a bit different. Speaking of different or the same, we have titanium frame, and the extremely subtle curve is gone. Aw man, I like the signature curve look, but I'm not too broken up about it. Gorilla Glass Armor, which is the new generation of that glass, accompanies the display, and the screen can reach a peak brightness of 2600 nits. Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 powers the device. Efficiency and performance boosts are given, but it also comes with NPU performance boost. The base model this time starts with 12GB of RAM instead of 8GB. 4K 120 FPS can now be recorded. Wi-Fi 7 is here, and that's it in terms of hardware changes. These were the iterative changes, but software features are even better. But before we get to that, Samsung is back with its old shenanigans. For the regular S24 and S24 Plus, you'll get Exynos 2400 for certain regions, and for US, you'll get Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Last Samsung device to use Exynos was Galaxy S21. Benchmarking it against its Snapdragon counterpart, it was inferior in battery, thermal management, and general performance. Guess what? Exynos is back. Well, that didn't last that long. I can make an entire video talking about this, but I'll try to be brief. Regular 24 and 24 Plus will get Exynos, while the Ultra variant will get the Snapdragon chip. Look, I get it, alright? Samsung was being charged $160 per chip. I get this is a cost-cutting measure, and I totally understand that Exynos has improved a lot. Pixel's Tensor chips are based on Exynos, and your use case might not even be able to notice any meaningful variance. But Galaxy S is your top-of-the-line premium flagship. This much variance in components is not okay. You want to include Exynos? Include it in your M lineup or A lineup or your countless other lineup, ranging from budget to upper mid-range. Yes, Qualcomm charges you a lot, but you also charge a fortune to your customers. If you were that confident with Exynos, why didn't you include it in Galaxy S24 Ultra as well? If it was on par, that would have been the focus of the keynote, but they barely said anything about it. Anti-consumer move, Samsung. Let's start with the AI features. We start off with the live translation, which is a translation model installed on the device. You will now be able to use a new call assist button to use this. Everything happens in real time, the device on the other end doesn't matter at all, and no internet connection is required. This is still in its early stages, but an amazing feature nonetheless. With Samsung's track record, this should be built into something game-changing. Within the Notes app, S24 can summarize your long, rambling tangents into bullet points and add headings for cohesion if necessary. I don't know if this feature works with third-party apps, but maybe in future updates. While we're still in the writing territory, Magic Compose can use AI to write the texts for you in various styles and parameters. Moving on to the visual component, AI photo editing has been supercharged, and now you can move, erase, drag, fill, and remove objects within photos. Reportedly, the processing algorithm for photos has also been improved. You can remaster the photo, adjust the angle and tilt of the photos while using generative AI to fill the borders. Use people within pictures and save them as stickers and many more nifty little features. Before moving on to my recommendation and perspective, why are we getting the exact same designs every iteration? Well, we've already gone over a couple of reasons. There's the physics problem with the nanometer shrinkage, the standardized portfolio, and a balance between ergonomics and stunning design. As much as I hate to say it, the resources for research and design can be better allocated to software and features. That's why there are incremental changes, but it doesn't completely justify it. I appreciate the better screens, DDR5 RAM, UFS 4.0 storage, ray tracing, and crazy nits. The things that would probably come in handy less than 5% of the time. Why not increase the battery capacity, increase the charging speed, and reverse wireless charging speed, improve 5G, repairability assist, decrease the price, ditch the Exynos, etc. This is the most important part of the perspective. Before you buy this device, ask yourself the exact reason why you're buying it. Looking past the AI for a second, this is another iterative upgrade. Since the AI is all software and the phone doesn't need a separate dedicated hardware component for it to work, these AI features will come to Samsung's older flagships. Remember, they're all in software. Depending upon what Samsung device you have, 4 years of OS updates is given. If you have Galaxy S21 or older, I would recommend upgrading to this device, no questions asked. Hands down the best Samsung flagship, and I do want to give credit to Samsung. I would even go as far as to say buy this over the new OnePlus. Better UI, better software support, class-leading cameras, tougher glass, and other nifty features. But anything newer than a Galaxy S21, you can probably skip this one and save yourself a fortune. Buying a Galaxy S23 Ultra at a discount is also another option. But if you're looking for latest and greatest, or maybe a one-off purchase for the next 7 years, this is the device to have. In conclusion, an amazing device by Samsung, but not necessarily warranting a purchase. With that being said, this is Rogue Hat. I hope you guys enjoyed this perspective. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you guys later.